Hello everyone, I'm making this video and the final video before I start my Dragon Age Awakening series. It is to talk about Leliana's Suicidal Epilogue. Now first I want to get something out of the question. The epilogue is what it is. Someone commented on the video suggesting that maybe I made it up, but no, it's actually a real epilogue. I did write the text myself because I replaced the epilogue slide with a scene of Leliana singing in Uthenera, the song, and I just wrote the text on the screen, but it's actually the exact same text from the epilogue. So that's real. That's a very specific epilogue for Leliana. It only shows up if all three conditions are met. Condition number one, Leliana is not hardened. She's still soft in her heart, or whatever you want to call it. Two, she is in a romance with the warden. And three, the warden dies, commits the ultimate sacrifice. There's a part of this that I like and part that I don't like. What I like is that this is probably one of the strongest signs that games are art, that they can invoke such strong emotions. That had a very powerful impact on me. If you watched my Dark Ritual video, I start by saying how hard it was. It was a super hard choice, probably the hardest I've ever made in a game. And that epilogue made it all that much harder. It made me doubt it. It made me, because I was thinking, okay, it was a horrible thing. I died. I didn't want to die, but maybe something nice happened to Leliana. And then you get that epilogue where she wrote a ballad about you and she was crying and she disappeared before disappearing, saying that, with tears in her eyes, saying that she's going to be with the warden again. And it's just, oh my god. So I'm like, damn it, maybe I've made the wrong choice. Maybe I really should have done that Dark Ritual, and because it led not only to my death, but to Leliana's too. And Connor has argued with me about that on live streams, claiming that that epilogue does not show at all that Leliana commits suicide, which I disagree. I think that's exactly what it implies. I mean, it's a bad example to give, but let's assume for argument's sake that my wife died tomorrow, and I made a video saying that she died. And then some days later I made a video saying that this will be my last video, you will never see me again, and I'm going to finally be with my wife once more. What would you think I'll do? So I think it's pretty obvious, and I think I wouldn't have done it any other way. It's my biggest regret in my playthrough is that I couldn't get to that option. Maybe somewhere I missed it in conversations with Leliana, but there is an option. I think it was to ask her to remind you once again of that vision she had. Anyway, there's a certain situation where she tells the vision yet again. She says that she had a vision when you recruit her, and then in one of your first conversations she explains the vision, but I believe there was an option to have her repeat it at some point. And at that point, there is a very curious bit at the end, when she says that she fell from the cliff from which she was observing how the world is being swallowed or something. At the end where she says that she fell, she stops, and then she says, or maybe I jumped. And that was very strange. When I played the game for the first time, I had that, and I was like, what is she trying to say with that? Or maybe I jumped. And when I saw that epilogue for the first time, when I played, I connected to that thing and to the whole emotional struggle that she's been going through. You know, she comes from Orlais. She was betrayed by the person she loved. She was betrayed into. She was put into that prison where she was tortured. She was raped. That's not said, but it's, I think, very obvious from that scene where she lies on the ground and there's blood between her legs, and it's just horrible. And then she went to the chantry and she tried to devote her life to the Maker, and then she had that vision, and then she meets Marjolaine again. She tries to kill her, and then in my case she spared Marjolaine, but she was conflicted on the inside because she wanted to kill her, and then maybe she questioned her entire change. She said that maybe she was just imagining that vision, and then maybe she was still the old Leliana, you know, that part with the hardening that I didn't do. And all these things that she's going through, coupled with the death of the warden in the end, and the idea that maybe she had the tendency all along and she finally couldn't handle it any longer, was just so powerful. I was like, oh my goodness, it's like one of the strongest, definitely the strongest emotion that I've ever felt in gaming. It was so sad. I cried the first time I played this game. And ultimately what I don't like is, as you know, that they're bringing her back in Dragon Age 2 and Dragon Age Inquisition without explanation. Even if you killed her, there was an option for you to kill her in the Sacred Ashes quest. And they don't really mention anything about that particular epilogue in Dragon Age 2. And I certainly doubt that they will try and make justice to it in Inquisition. So I don't want to sound like, oh yeah, I wish she was dead, but it just, crafting that specific situation, it's just so masterfully done, in my opinion. And then completely, forgetting about it is just, nah, I didn't like that. So those are my thoughts about the epilogue. A little random, but basically one of the best bits of gaming there is, in my opinion, and clear indications that games are art. You know, that one of the things, again, I didn't like about Mass Effect 3's ending is how they were like, oh, it's our artistic integrity. That point with Dragon Age, not just the Leliana's epilogue, but just the entire Dragon Age Origins, that I think is artistic integrity, not Mass Effect 3's ending. So, as you can hear, my voice is going to die soon, because I did 2 other videos where I talked, and yeah, I'm gonna stop now. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for my Dragon Age Awakening series, and be good.